Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Functional Longevity Podcast, where we give you insight on how to get fit, feel younger, live better. I'm your host, Chris Borda, best-selling author and owner of Y.E.S Fitness. Let me first thank you for taking time from your busy day to listen to what I have to say. I don't take that lightly. And also, before we get started, let me thank our sponsor, Y.E.S Fitness. Most people lose the ability to enjoy life as they age. At Y.E.S Fitness, we help people age 40 plus get fit, so they can live longer and enjoy those extra years doing the things they love to do. Some quick housekeeping here. If you'd like to get a timestamp or a transcript of today's broadcast, head on over to yesfitnessct.com. Across the top, you see a drop down for podcasts. Click on that, and we'll now give you access to any one of our now 391 episodes. You can also get this broadcast wherever podcasts can be found. Boost your longevity with particular supplements. If you're training, eating well, and dealing with low energy, your brain fog, maybe some stubborn blood sugar issues, that usually is not a motivation problem. It's a cellular one. As we age, mitochondrial function slows, metabolic control slips, and recovery takes longer. That's why I use particular. Their NNM supports cellular energy production. Resveratrol helps protect heart and brain health. Berberine improves blood sugar control and metabolic flexibility, all critical for healthy aging after 40. These are clean, science-backed supplements made right here in the USA, and I personally notice better energy, focus, and recovery. If you want your body to respond again, visit particular.com. That's PARTIQLAR, and use the code YES15 for 15% off your order. The hidden longevity molecule, quietly restoring energy after 40. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some people just have energy? They recover faster. They think clearly. They stay active well into their 70s and 80s. Meanwhile, others feel like their energy slowly drains year after year. They wake up tired, they feel inflamed, they struggle to recover, and we often blame it on aging. But what if part of the decline wasn't just aging? What if it's the molecule inside your body quietly running out? Today, we're talking about one of the most important molecules in human biology. It's called NAD. We've talked about it before. I thought I would talk about it again. Because as we listen to these things, some kind of information, sometimes it just goes in and back out, and we forget about something. So I thought we would talk about NAD again. And if you care about energy, recovery, brain health, metabolism, and longevity, you need to understand it. The molecule that powers life is NAD. And NAD stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Sounds complicated, but here's the simplest way to think about it. NAD is essentially a spark plug in your cells. It's required for energy production and DNA repair, cellular defense systems, mitochondrial function, inflammation control. Without NAD, your cells simply cannot produce energy efficiently. In fact, NAD is involved in hundreds of metabolic reactions that allow your body to function properly. So when NAD levels drop, energy drops, recovery slows, inflammation rises. Sound familiar? Talked about it last week. So let's talk about the aging problem most people never hear about. And here's where things get interesting. One of the most consistent findings in aging research is that NAD levels decline as we get older. And it's not just age. The number of stressors can attack the NAD system. Chronic inflammation, obesity, poor sleep, infection, circadian disruption, heart disease, and neurodegeneration. All of these stressors drain NAD. Think of it like a rechargeable battery. When you're young, the battery stays pretty full, but over time, stress keeps draining it faster than you recharge it. So, why does NAD matter for longevity? When NAD drops, several critical systems in the body begin to struggle. One of the most important one is DNA repair. Every single day, your DNA gets damaged by UV light, inflammation, metabolic stress, and environmental toxins. Your body repairs these damages constantly, but those repair systems require NAD. When NAD levels fall, repair slows, and cellular aging accelerates. This is one of the reasons NAD has become such a popular focus in longevity research. Another place NAD plays a huge role is in mitochondria, your energy, your cellular engines. Mitochondria are the energy factories inside your cells. They convert nutrients into usable energy, but that process requires NAD. Without enough NAD, energy production slows, fat metabolism declines, muscles fatigue faster, and brain cells struggle. This is why many researchers describe NAD as one of the central regulators of metabolism. It literally determines how efficiently your body produces energy. One of the fascinating things researchers have discovered is how tightly connected NAD is to inflammation. When inflammation rises, certain enzymes activate to help repair damage. But those enzymes consume NAD in the process. So chronic inflammation constantly drains your NAD reserves, which creates a vicious cycle. Inflammation lowers NAD, low NAD worsens cellular stress, more stress creates more inflammation, and this cycle continues. Now, if you've been following longevity science at all, listening to this broadcast or podcast, you've probably heard about supplements that claim to boost NAD. Things like NMN, which I do take, nicotinamide riboside, and NAD IV drops. Some clinics are even charging thousands of dollars for IV NAD infusions. But the research here is still evolving. One NAD precursor getting a lot of attention is nicotinamide riboside, which is a form of vitamin B3 that the body can convert into NAD. Studies show that taking nicotinamide riboside can increase NAD levels in the bloodstream. But here's the key question researchers are still asking. Does rising NAD in blood actually translate into meaningful improvements in human health? In other words, does the improved energy recovery brain health, or does it improve energy recovery brain health or longevity? And the honest answer right now is we don't fully know yet. We're not sure. Science is still working on this. But here's the part that always makes me smile. The longevity tool that already works. Because whatever we talk about, fancy longevity molecules, people assume the answer is going to be take some expensive supplement. But the scientists look at interventions that reliably support NAD. One thing consistently shows up: exercise. Exercise stimulates mitochondrial function. Exercise improves metabolic efficiency. Exercise reduces inflammation, and exercise activates many of the same cellular pathways that NAD support, which means exercise may be one of the most powerful natural ways to support healthy cellular metabolism. Not IVD drip requirements, not expensive longevity clinic, just consistent movement. When you look at longevity research, I think about it like a hierarchy. At the top are the fundamentals that have overwhelming evidence. Things like strength training, aerobic fitness, healthy body composition, quality sleep, nutrient-dense nutrition. Those things move the needle dramatically. Supplements, they may play a role. I believe they play a role, and I'm willing to do it because I take the other 5 items: strength training, aerobic, healthy body composition, quality sleep, and dense nutrition. I do all that before I take the supplement. But they sit much lower on the hierarchy, supplements. They're below all that stuff because even the most exciting molecules we're studying often influence the same biological symptoms that exercise already improves. Here's something I want people to understand: why muscle protects your biology. I talk about strength training all the time. Man, it just comes up in every one of these things. Muscle isn't just about strength. Muscle is metabolic armor. Muscle improves glucose control, inflammation regulation, hormone balance, mitochondrial density. And when you train your muscles regularly, when you train your muscles correctly, because not everything we do when we go to the gym and lift weights are not increasing our muscle mass, you activate many of the metabolic pathways researchers are trying to target with longevity supplements. Americans are always looking for the easy way out, always looking for the way we can get away with the most out of it with doing the least amount of work. But strength training, which is one of the reasons strength training is so strongly associated with lifespan, because it targets those pathways. So here's the big longevity takeaway. The science around NAD is fascinating. It helps us understand how energy, metabolism, inflammation, and cellular repair all interact. But it also reinforces something we already know. Longevity is not built in a supplement bottle. It's built through lifestyle, consistent exercise, muscle maintenance, metabolic health, sleep, nutrition. Those are the levels that truly support biology of aging. So my final thoughts on this. Longevity science is moving fast, and molecules like NAD are helping researchers understand the deep biology of aging in ways we could never understand before. But the biggest mistake people make is chasing the newest hack instead of mastering the fundamentals. Because the most powerful longevity intervention we have discovered so far still looks remarkably simple. Move your body, build strength, stay metabolically healthy. Do those things consistently. And you support the very system scientists are trying to repair with cutting edge research. So before I wrap it up, I want to give everyone one practical takeaway. Yes, the foundation of longevity will always be exercise, sleep, nutrition, maintaining muscle. Nothing replaces those. But there are other things that we do that can supplement it, like the sauna, like red light therapy, and with supplementation. If you're looking for supplements that may support cellular energy production and healthy aging, one of them has been studied extensively is NNM, which helps your body support healthy NAD levels. At Y.E.S Fitness and myself particularly, we partner with Particular because they produce one of the highest purity NNM supplements available, third-party tested and manufactured to pharmaceutical standards. So if you're curious about supporting your NAD systems as you age, you can learn more about Particular. It's Particular. Just remember, supplements support the systems. Exercise builds the systems. And that will always be the foundation of longevity. If you found this episode helpful, share it with someone who wants to stay strong, sharp, and independent as they age. Remember, the goal is not just to live longer, the goal is to live better. Keep training, keep moving. And I'm Chris Borda, and this is the Functional Longevity Podcast. And I will see you next week with more information on how to get fit, feel younger, live better. Thanks for watching.